Yenkotie ensemu a Akufo Addo edited somewhere in 2017, right after say sworn in as president, concerning galamsey issues.
Galamsey, I'm said never be why I can. Say auntie, say Juma. Maybe can say for my Ghana for A2 Sikano. May Baby tremble. If just says here to scale more Ghana, and yet that. Yen nanum, in the chat says here to scale. Me said Sika, one year Baby to Sika, ye tiamra, and no, and a main place, Baby Kosovo. Illegal mining. That is what I'm against. I babe haye. I ne tebi. Chema ahinkro. A brim. I am a ball. And number 1 year I two sika wumu. Densu brim. Nina say. Yet to be in Kosusa. Mining along the water bodies cannot continue if we want to preserve the nature and our system. Cannot continue. But this say, galamsey for say, pass me babe, dim rano so on so. Na election I be MPP for who become. But they hear me say me di Nyankopon aka kire me say e hia say me ba be ye anu na hear me na me ba be ye nhese ya ebe bo ma no nkoso anu na hear me nya election asem de nhese ya betumi aye ama o ma no anya nkoso ya na no ja asasi ma ye ye tumi nya bibi papa kura ye nsu enja no sa ma ye na na
All right. And this is Akufo Addo in 2000 and somewhere 2017. I stand to be corrected. These are the words of President Akufo Addo. Eche Muse, Nyankopon, ene sumane se ombra mebo yensu ene yensa se ho ban. Enti bana wabano oba betu galamsey ase o hye Ghana fo nyabo. Se galamsey ya adie bi a oba be kwatia empo onfa ho se okutia galamsey na se Ghana fo beto ama no se Ghana fo anto ama no onfa ho because Nyankopon ene suma ne se ombra be kuntia galamsey na okan ya kire se yensase ni yensu na ye nananom edi share yensa no empo se yentimi anye bibi pabi amfa nka ho a ema yense no yenya ne sa ema enchirima. These were the words of President Akufo Addo. Eche say bana wa bano galamsey one of the priorities are oba be fighting. Galamsey na 8 years ni bisa ho say galamsey no Akufo Addo ene baomia a fighting ne say empo enam so nti ena mampani Akufo Addo che Ghana for say enu nti no oba besi asodan e de ada ni nyame na se ni nyame na osoma ne say omra me fight galamsey no oba besi asodan e de ada sa nyame no ase ena okọ rich ebu judges adan gu ye bungalows ana judges use obugu ye etu amna $58 million 8 years ni adane amna donko. The most expensive pit in the world as at now. The orange here Accra. Galamsey no so how far with the fight against galamsey? Me say galamsey no crampono. It's high time we stop calling it illegal mining or whatever. Yeah, in front of treason, a treasonous offense. Because say what say or maybe ensu a sense as here a treasonous offense. It is in front of treason. Akufo Addo ba yi 8 years in how far with the fight against galamsey? Yes, she excavators. Ibinsu etu yirae. 8 years in mweni. Me say, me bisabo Ghana for say how far? Me bisa Akufo Addo say how far ura? Old man, how far we said juma na wo na o che Ghana for say Nyankopon and a small say bra be ye de boa fa boa Ghana man. How far after almost 8 years how far? Yanko share the state of your lands and rivers. Courtesy of Air Joy News. Watch.
The Apamprama Forest Reserve, previously a biodiversity hotspot, cultural heritage, and a high climate mitigation ecosystem, has been reduced largely to a wasteland by illegal mining. Thousands of hectares of the forest, about 40 to 50% of this valuable resource, is gone.
The Apamprama Forest has been under siege by illegal miners. So for some years now, I can say almost about 40 to 50% of the forest area is gone.
This has brought negative climate-induced hardship on farmers and residents of communities around the reserve.
It is the forest that gives farmers in this area rain to farm. But now, if God doesn't intervene, we will not have the rains to grow our crops.
According to experts, the soil is contaminated with heavy metals, mainly arsenic.
A typical area that we shouldn't have seen traces of heavy metal, and to be specific, arsenic. Arsenic is a naturally occurring element. However, with little disturbance that we do to the soil or the land, it can come by itself.
Experts say it will take over a century to return the Apamprama Forest Reserve to its ecological function. But a reclamation expert is leading a number of young people employed from one of the affected towns, Odahu, to restore compartments 2, 3, 18, and 19. Unipower Mining Company has an entry permit from the Forestry Commission for the pilot project. From a degraded land full of pits and gullies, they have used the same soil in the land area to level up. They are also preserving some of the artificial water-filled pits created by illegal mining to serve as wetlands within a new ecosystem being created to replace the old one. The plan, according to experts, is to grow trees with the ability to extract poisonous heavy metals from the soil over time.
The species that we are planting, typically the mahogany species, the Ophramo, they have the ability, the potential to absorb and to uptake these heavy metals from the soil. The Cedrella odorata that we've made is a fast-growing species. Within a short period of time, there's a little fall, and that will decompose and add nutrient to the soil. Again, it will.
Thank you, Joy News. Akufo Addo na okachire bo se Nyankopon ena so man say ombra me fight galamsey no. After almost 8 years ni. Galamsey no aye west. Wasensu asensase che kane. Na ene scientists che Ghana fo na say the level of destruction chemicals. Ye dia say yensu asay ensase no. Ye kase yesiesie nsu no esiesie nsase na e be take Ghana over 100 years, 1 century. Ansana empo ye lakia enso ene nsase no asako back to normal e be take 100 years. Samre mo a mo hwe me nyana obi ani ho a wotiase na se ye be sofa ye ma be sofa ye ma eman so be sofa the consequences of galamsey of today ediatia because chema Wontumi episkabi e de gudi butom ediatia Alista Matthias Al Jazeera 4-year documentary e chere say every year bia Akufo Addo any man bia on free Ghana ye friend no dey Alista Matthias to yensase ye gold ye goodie essay yensu essay yensase every year bia Akufo Addo enya over $400 million from the destruction of our lands and rivers, doesn't go to the national coffers. Etiempo yensuo ni ensase na yese no sika yenya free mu no eko ankra bi bank accounts mu, leaving the nation behind. Na so Ghana fo nya na ebreo, Ghana fo nya esa for ama empo na be si Cape Coast ensuo ni ho e de etia galamsey a yese yensuo ni ensase nti ene people of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are coming to build you a port and a harbor no and the adane eye. We are coming to give you a dirty, contaminated water after 8 years in power. Now, ni nyame na oche Ghana for say osuma ne say omra me fighting galamsey oba ye went me am fighting no. And the osache Ghana for say sa nyankopon na asaka che ne say ono okono oma ne bawo mia ne ntoaso. Ne bawo mia na be 8 years ni wabo na chidom. Ne bawo mia na oni na akọ na aba. Ne bawo mia na galamsey ya ekoso nyina oni no na etu no. Osache Ghana for say ni nyame no asaka che ne say okono oma ne bawo mia ne ntoaso. Ghana for her adie bi ohwa me se enyansa ne adwene yenwene na ye nipa obi ba hyem bo saa bo hye nti na enam so amoto abade ma no echem se mo nsase eni mu nso na ese na mo ka ho asem no oba be fight galamsey esiesie abo enso ne nsase ne ho ban oba ye almost 8 years ni enso ne nsase no aseche kane esa aka chem se ni nyame no asa aka che ne se onka chem se okono ne baumia no ensa ntoaso. Now so enso ne nsase ya asayi the baumia no has been a part of it for the past 8 years or ne baumia and asayi nso asayi nsase. Now so not je che ne se ye jiminti or sa che se ni nyame ne se onka chem se okono ne baumia no ensa ntoaso. Na sebi o my bay ena munimu nyansa mo bese mu nsuo asem nsase na se mu nsem nsuo esem nsase a mugina bia te sen ebe mu sen because gold that the yenre gold ye ni sika paper yen riska aduane ne die nsuo na yenom it is a ne gold nti sika bia mu penti mu sem nsuo ene mu nsase a na o my as Ghana no mujina bia etiseng. In the next 50 years, mujina bia ebe museng. In the next 20 years, mujina bia ebe ya museng. Ya jene honsa debi. Eni breboni Jimmy enkwasi asem abroni beyenti. Yes, say the very fabric of our civilization. Eni yensase eni yensu. Me say, o maybe ediwa emu mpanimfo ni mu nyansa ombetena se aya hwe ha se yensensu ensensase ba akufo ne a ope ade awunti sika bi achema Wontumi ebenya ade agu na council munti yenso ni ensase na enteki ye 100 years to bring these lands and rivers back to their old state or how they used to be. And if say we are lucky ebeteki ye 100 years sebi enye Jimmy enye nkwasi asem enye nsem hunu a menti bi da enhu bi da je se Ghana na yesat na Ghana ha access sa ban na for the past 8 years they have been behind the destruction of our lands and rivers and some twice for another 4 years edientia mahama na oba onimu nyansa obetimi abo yensuo ni yensase ho ban no yempesa mahama na sem edienti ena yempe na sem a oye nodena esanso koye NDC ni ti yempe na sem ndi say yebeto aba say mahama emra mesiesie nko a de yensanto aba na baomia enkoso ense yensu ense yensase na yenye mere yensu yewu kwa a yenchima nso no aba bebre.
Will I still give amnesty to people convicted for galamsey? And my answer is yes. Because those who are in prison for galamsey are not the actual perpetrators of galamsey. The big kingpins are not in prison. Those who are in prison are the small boys that they employ to work on their galamsey concessions. And so they are victims of circumstances. And so if we are coming with a new fight against galamsey, let's start by giving them amnesty. Let's bring them out, reform them, and do the things that will make them not go and do what they've done again. Somebody must be in prison, it's those district chief executives and ministers and others who are doing the galamsey, not the people they are employing.
Sebi yeni munyansa, sebi o ya dwene eye adwuma. Sad, very sad. Very sad. And then ya say yensuama ma epokra say epokrampo no asa say na yenimu se ensuo ne nsase ne eno ani nyankopon lo. Sa nyankopon na abribia yete Atwea Mountains ye won sorry dem ni ade ebo mpa nyamie sa nyame no ono ani yensuo ne nsase ono ani ye nia. Di say ye sensuo nsase sa kyese ye do nyankopon a ye bodam. Yes, so sense as I say, yes, I saw dying the amount of Yankopon wa ya bodam. I say over $58 million. They say NPP are buying, they have lost every legitimacy to lead. They must go and they must go now. The more these people remain in power, the more the destruction, the more the misery, the more the pain, the more the poverty, the more the suffering, the more the backwardness. Into say afi we mu na every Ghanaian movement twaba empam san kwase abai we nko na John Dramani Mahama na ye man in fie nan or demonstrate menka dey say resilience to fight galamsey or che Ghana for na say ye dey two min sha den sa and dey pass e na obetimi aye de aboa ye no ye empam kofui na John Dramani Mahama ensamra. After all, John Dramani Mahama dey or ye tried and tested. John Dramani Mahama dey ye dey kai amano 4 more years asona hwe enim ne Mahama betimi aye. John Dramani Mahama onsame toa ne nyuma pade so na ye mai Ghana entimi emfa ne ntuma pa infra. So simple as that. So simple as that. So simple as that. Ebusia for bidibisi asanya mu nyina mu ni mi dey the chairman free by the joy. The rest of your time and I'll see you in my next video. Macron.
Asampanabo, 24-hour economy. Oh, the Asampanabo, banana, Asampanabo, banana, 24-hour economy. The wood of Mahama, jump, 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 baby, you know, jump, 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 jump. Oh, the Asampanabo, banana, Asampanabo, 24-hour economy. Banana, oh, the Asampanabo, banana, 24-hour economy.